And Zaka helps companies to remotely verify and onboard new, trusted, and qualified customers. We're working at the moment with an AI retinal diagnostics firm called DeepD. They're looking to plug the diagnostic capacity gap in sub-Saharan Africa using artificial intelligence. And while they're good at AI and they're good at ophthalmology, they're not so good at the patient verification and digital logistics that they're required to implement. So Zaka is helping them to verify the patient at the point of service, to connect the patient's retinal scans with the AI engine in the Netherlands, and to follow up and to send the diagnosis to the patient and to the clinic so they can follow up for treatment, all using secure peer-to-peer exchanges of data on Zaka's system. You'll see this repeated in every relationship. We verify the user, connect them with a third party, and facilitate the secure exchange of data between those parties. In sub-Saharan Africa, there are enormous technical, social, and operational barriers between service providers and consumers trusting and transacting with one another. The existing solutions for this problem range from agent networks and point-of-service kiosks to USSD registration processes and fixed infrastructure of banks and mobile network operators. None of these is configured to do high-assurance user verification at the point of service. Zaka is creating a distributed authentication network to complete remote user verification at the point of service, equip those users with a decentralized identifier that can then be used in the Zaka marketplace to access high-trust services. Those services might include lending and utilities, or banking and health services. Our principal focus in sub-Saharan Africa will be AI-enabled health services and microfinance ecosystems. Each and every service that a user connects with results in an attestation that builds around the user's wallet, adding value to the user's digital identity and creating greater trust for that individual. I mentioned that we're working with DeepD, and we're also collaborating with an AI and telemedicine chatbot, one of the continent's leading technology universities, and we hope soon hear the international and domestic community on the migrant and refugee situation. As an enabler, digital identity projects are always facilitating the impact of their partners. And in Zaka's case, we work towards the early diagnosis preventing blindness, enabling access to healthcare for a broader number of low and middle-income consumers, improving educational attainment in African universities. And what we hope to do here in Turkey is to improve access to the right information at the right time for the right people. So let's go into that a little bit more. We know that migrants and refugees in Turkey are seeking reliable sources of verified information from the sources that they trust and rely on. We know that those sources, the agencies and NGOs, are looking for ways to improve insights into the migrant and refugee population, while also finding the right channels to distribute accurate information to those people about services and opportunities that might appeal to them. Excuse me. We are offering a user-generated identity that refugees and migrants can create themselves. They can then use that to connect with third parties on the Zaka platform, which those third parties can then use to direct messages straight to the user. If the user then attends a service that is offered by that third party, they're able to generate that third-party attestation, which moves their wallet from being a self-attested digital ID to a third-party attested digital ID. And that's where we see real value being added to that wallet. The result, of course, is we're contributing to the increased self-reliance of migrants and refugees in Turkey. So this is what it would look like. A simple sign-up form, followed by additional information, your professional background, educational background, your family details. That then creates a self-attested digital wallet. You see in the top left of the wallet, the number 1. That's assurance level 1. On the other side of the wallet, you see the services that a user can connect with, having created that information. If they choose to connect with Türk Kizile, they see the list of information that their organization requires from them, anonymized, and connected on a peer-to-peer basis. Once that connection's formed, you see the connection now listed in the user's wallet, the date on which it was created, and the ability for the user to revoke that access at any point, giving them control over who has access to what information at what time. Now the connection has been formed, Türk can send a message directly to that individual and any other individuals that match the profile requested by Türk to say, for example, come along to an employability assessment in the Chamber of Commerce in Gaziantep for engineers. This gives us a really tangible step towards getting people back into employment. Once that connection's been formed and the user has achieved the service, their wallet moves from assurance level 1 to assurance level 2, as you can see in the wallet. Of course, we also have a system for the agencies and NGOs. On the one side, you're able to manage the connections that are coming through, and on the other, to segment and create the messages that you might want to send out. So you see the segmentation and messaging functions listed here. Of course, data privacy is an absolute concern in the context of migrants and refugees, many of them coming from distressed communities and who are deeply vulnerable to risks of data privacy being breached. We do our level best to adhere to the W3C decentralized identifier standards and our pending application to the ID 2020 certification at the moment. In order to implement such an ambitious project, we need the support of many partners, both internationally and domestically, and we'll be seeking partnerships with each of the institutions listed for different reasons, ultimately, if only to join the platform and issue the right messages to the right people at the right time. We've got an amazing team with a multidisciplinary team with decades of experience across the public, private, and social sector. And we're all very excited at the prospect of committing more of our time and energy to the idea that I have just explained to you here. Let me finish just by repeating the reason that Zaka exists is to create trusted connections. Thank you very much.
Bu son seansa kadar bizi dinlediğiniz için teşekkür ederiz. Herhangi bir bilgi almak isterseniz web sitemizden bize ulaşabilirsiniz. sdgia.org. Teşekkürler.
Teşekkür ediyoruz. Kıymetli misafirler, yarın saat 8.30'da yeniden kayıt alanında, fuaye alanında buluşacağız. Onda programlarımız başlayacak. Bizi izlediğiniz, dinlediğiniz için teşekkür ediyoruz. Yarın görüşmek üzere.